All right, here is part 1 of the Unit 8 test study guide. We're going to do the Pythagorean theorem. We're going to do topic 1, topic 2, and topic 3 in this video, and then topic 4 and topic 5 in the second video. Or we might do the whole thing. Who knows? We'll see how it goes. All right. For topic 1, it says that for any right triangle, Pythagorean theorem says that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That is the Pythagorean theorem where a and b are the short sides and c is the hypotenuse. So go ahead and work it out and see if you can figure out what x is for number 1 now. All right, so x is the hypotenuse, so we should have added here. So this should be 9 squared plus 17 squared, 17, not 12. Equals c squared. So then on our calculator, we do 9 squared plus 17 squared, and we get 370. So 370 equals c squared. And then we do the square root of 370, and we get that c is 19.2. And it says round to the nearest tenth, and that is 1 decimal place. So 19.2 there. All right, same thing for number 2. Let's go ahead and figure out number 2. All right. So hopefully we subtracted because we're looking for a short side. So 14 squared minus 11 squared equals x squared. So 14 squared minus 11 squared gives us 75. So 75 equals x squared. Take the square root of 75, and that gives us 8.7 for x, 8.7. All right, go ahead and figure out number 3 now. So we're looking again for a short side, so we should subtract. So 8.1 squared minus 6.8 squared equals x squared. 8.1 squared minus 6.8 squared. So 19.37 equals x squared. Take the square root of that, and we get 4.4 equals x. And last is number 4. Now, before you start doing number 4, I want to point out to you here that you see that 18 is right here, and you see those 2 lines, which means that this side over here is also 18. So that means that you have 2 congruent right triangles here. Now, if we can figure out what this piece is, that'll be the same thing as this piece over here, and we add those 2 pieces together to find x. So you're going to have to do 2 different things here. Find this little missing piece right here. We'll call that A. And then whatever that side is, this side will also be A. And then A plus A will give us the x that we need. So go ahead and find x now. So first you had to find A, and hopefully you subtracted to find A. So that would be 18 squared minus 13 squared equals A squared. 18 squared minus 13 squared is 155. So 155 equals A squared. Take the square root there. So A equals 12.4. And if that side's 12.4, then that side is also 12.4. So 12.4 plus 12.4 for x gives us 24.8. All right, moving on to number 5. An Olympic-sized swimming pool is approximately 50 meters long by 25 meters wide. All right, so that's a rectangular swimming pool, 50 meters long, 25 meters wide. What distance will a swimmer travel if they travel from one corner to the opposite? So it's looking for the diagonal here. So we'll call that x. Go ahead and use your right triangle knowledge and figure out what x is now. So we're looking for the long side, which means that we need to add. So 50 squared plus 25 squared equals x squared. 50 squared plus 25 squared gives us 3125. And that equals x squared. So we take the square root of that, and we get 55.9 for x. All right, so that swimmer would swim 55.9 meters across. Take a look at number 6. A 20-foot ramp is used at a loading dock of a factory. Now, we always said that when we saw that word ramp, we were always talking about the hypotenuse. So that's a 20-foot ramp. All right, the base of the ramp is placed 19 feet from the base of the dock. Remember, base means bottom. So that's 19 right there. And it says, how high is the loading dock? When you're asked about height, you're asked about the tall side. So that's X over here. Go ahead and find X now. So since we're looking for one of the short sides, we should have subtracted. So 20 squared minus 19 squared equals X squared. 20 squared minus 19 squared gives us 39. So 39 equals X squared. Take the square root of 39. And that gives us 6.2 as our X. So it is 6.2 feet high. All right, next was figuring out what type of triangle you have given the a squared, b squared, and c squared. So remember, go ahead and answer the questions about this now. All right, so hopefully you said that if a squared plus b squared is equal to c squared, then the triangle is the right triangle. If a squared plus b squared is greater than c squared, then it's an acute triangle. And if a squared plus b squared is less than c squared, then it is an obtuse triangle. Hopefully you correctly identified those. All right, let's take a look at the back, page 23 in your unit packet. Now remember, the first thing that you have to do in classifying these triangles is make sure that you actually have a triangle. So you have to add the two smaller sides together and make sure that they are bigger than the third side, okay? So the two smaller sides in number 7 are 20 and 21, and 20 and 21 added together is 41, and 41 is bigger than 29, so we're good. It is a triangle. So now we do a squared plus b squared and c squared. So we do 20 squared plus 21 squared, and then we do 29 squared over here. So tell me what type of triangle this is now. All right, so 20 squared plus 21 squared is 841, and 29 squared is 841. Those two are equal to each other, so hopefully you said that this is a right triangle. All right, go ahead and complete number 8 and tell me what type of triangle that is now. So the first thing I hope you did was 5 plus 9 is 14, and since 14 is bigger than 10, then we're good. It is a triangle. So then we do a squared plus b squared, 5 squared plus 9 squared, and then we compare it to 10 squared. And 5 squared plus 9 squared is equal to 106, and 10 squared is equal to 100. 106 is greater than 100, so this is an acute triangle. All right, next, go ahead and figure out number 9. All right, so hopefully the first thing that you did was you took 3 and 15, added them together and got 18. 18 is not bigger than 18. They are not allowed to be equal, so this cannot be a triangle. Not a triangle. All right, go ahead and try number 10. So hopefully we did 16 plus 21, and we got 37. And 37 is bigger than 28, so we are good to go. This is a triangle. So then we do 16 squared plus 21 squared, and we compare that to 28 squared. So 16 squared plus 21 squared, and that gives us 697. And then we'd have 28 squared, and that is 784. So 697 is smaller than 784, so this is an obtuse triangle. All right, let's take a look at topic 3, 45, 45, 90 triangle. Now, these are the ones that have those special patterns that we talked about. All right, so in a 45, 45, 90 triangle, you have this side is X, And in a 45-45, these two are equal to each other, so those are both x. And then whatever those sides are, this is going to be x times the square root of 2. And then in a 30, 60, 90 triangle, remember you have a short side, a long side, and a hypotenuse. The short side is next to the 60. That is going to be a. The long side is next to the 30. That is a square root 3. And then the hypotenuse is across from the right angle, and that is 2a. So let's go through and work these out now. This first one is a 45, 45, 90. So go ahead, solve for x. And hopefully you know that since this side is 5, this side also has to be 5. And go ahead and solve for y. And this is 5 square root 2. Because it's the hypotenuse and it's times the square root of 2. All right, number 12 is a 30, 60, 90. Go ahead and solve for x. So hopefully you realize that the 9 is the short side, so that is a. So we have a square root 3, and 2a. And x is the hypotenuse, so if a is 9, then the hypotenuse is 18. Go ahead and solve for y now. So y is the long side of this triangle, and we should have 9 times the square root of 3. All right, take a look at 13. Go ahead and figure out x and y now. Which answer choice below shows the correct values for x and y? So this is a 30, 60, 90. So we have an a square root 3, and 2a. So our 2a is 22. That's our hypotenuse, which means a has to be 11, and our long side is 11 square root 3. So y is our short side, so it's 11. X is our long side, so it is 11 square root 3. Go ahead and choose the correct answer for number 14 now. So 14 is a 45, 45, 90. So we have an x, and an x square root 2. Our hypotenuse is 16. So that's our x square root 2 side. To get rid of the square root 2, we divide by the square root of 2. 16 divided by the square root of 2. So we get that both of those other two sides are 8 square root 2. So hopefully you got that both of those pieces are 8 square root 2. All right, go ahead and choose the correct answer for 15 now. So this is a 30, 60, 90 triangle. So you have an a square root 3, and a 2a side. Your 42 is your long side, so it's your square root 3 side. And then if that's your square root 3 side, you have 42 divided by the square root of 3 to solve for your short side. So 14 square root 3 is your short side. And then your 2a side, your long side, is 2 times that, so 28 square root 3. So x is your short side, so that would be 14 square root 3. 2a is your long side, or sorry, y is your long side, 28 square root 3. All right, go ahead and choose the correct answer for 16 now. 16 is a 45, 45, 90. So we have an x, and an x square root 2. So your x square root 2 side is your 19 square root 2, because that's your hypotenuse. Divide that by the square root of 2. So we do 19 square root of 2 divided by the square root of 2. And we get that both of those sides are 19. All right, that takes us to the end of video 1. We will pick up with video 2 momentarily.